Darkness and light collide. Two flames burn eternal. From the sacred halls of Freemasonry to the roaring highways of the widow's sons comes a brotherhood forged in truth, honor, and fire. This is no ordinary podcast. This is the voice of the craft, reminding you that the sun never sets on the widow's sons. From the heartland of America, welcome to the Two Burning Tapers podcasts with your hosts, Skittles and Gilligan.
Yeah. Hey, hurry up and get out of here so I can talk about family.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about family right now, so you can't be in here while I'm on my podcast. I love you. Family.
Yeah.
Family, love you.
Love you.
There you go. Hey, what we going to do today, Skittles? What are we doing tonight?
Man, dude, we're all on our own tonight. I don't even know. We've got nobody to hold us accountable, I guess.
I don't know. Like, I don't know when the last time me and you got to be on the podcast by ourselves. It's been great. It has been great to be able to talk to a bunch of people. But you know what? It is kind of nice to be able to talk to you too. Because sometimes we don't get to have those moments. Still, even I was up there last week for a chapter meeting, or last weekend for a chapter meeting, and it was literally I got up there Friday night, Sunday morning. I'm like, damn, where'd the weekend go? What happened? It was gone.
Yeah,
and that was nuts. But before I get into the thick of it, there, Skittles. Do you have one of them famous one-line entries that you normally have for us? Even though it's just me and you?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, surely it'd be easier since it's only the two of us, right? I mean, there shouldn't be that much that needs to be. Tonight, it's just us, Skittles and Gilligan, and we're bringing it back to the heart, what it's all about. We're talking about family, faith, hope, and charity, and what it really means, not just in the lodge, not just in the meeting, but in everyday life. Because a chapter meeting is more than just a meeting. It's where brothers become family. It's where the bonds are built, stories are shared, and the mission gets real. And tonight, we're going to break it down, and we're going to talk about what matters. Plus, we've got some big news to share, maybe even some secrets. So whatever you're on the road, if you're in the shop or just kicking back, turn it up, get on. And this is the Two Burning Tapers podcast. Welcome, brother.
Oh, welcome there, Skittles. You over here saying we're talking about family. I'm over here trying to chuck down this nasty ass McDonald's right now because that's the only thing that I can choke down right now. Because family likes to eat up a little bit of your time, especially with sports and other curricular activities. So you fit in when you get in. You eat while you can, right?
Yeah. Well, and right before we started this, we were just kind of talking, and then speaking of family, my wife and Gianna popped in the podcast and was saying hi, and we were just kind of bullshitting this or that, and it's always nice to catch up with one another. And about the time my wife leaves, then Gilligan's wife Marianne pops in, and I think we're exactly 30 minutes late if there is a schedule on actually starting our podcast or recording, but it's all because we really love each other, and it's fun catching up, and we can it's amazing how fast the time can fly when you're hanging out with family.
Correct.
But
because
go ahead.
I was say you go ahead. All about what? All about that family?
Well, this is all after, like you said, we just spent a whole weekend together. Gilligan and his family, so him, his wife, his 3 kids, and his huge 300-pound dog, all brought their truck and camper. They set up in my front yard of my house, made camp, and you guys stayed Friday, Saturday, went home Sunday, And man, we had just an awesome family weekend hanging out. And we also had a chapter meeting, which was really nice. So, but we still have so much to talk about, I feel like.
Yeah, of course. I'm gonna say it was nice to be able to drive up there. And I know you always roll out the red carpet like you always do. And I know that you're a new family man, new to the the family life with the baby and things like that. And previous times coming up, we normally come up as just like me and the wife. We'll come up and we just stay in your house. Then when it was us and the kids, you had an extra bedroom, and now you have a kid of your own. So now it's not the same. You have to have kind of like your own space because there's kind of like a you have your things you have to do as a new dad, as a new mom, and those
Hmm.
things are consistent right now, and it keeps life moving forwards. And it's a real slow and steady pace. It's not something fast and
Hmm.
high, moving quickly. But me and my wife, we kind of noticed that because it kind of happens to us when we first started having kids, is like we kind of had to have our own space, and we noticed that. And when we came up, it was nice to being able to see when we had the after party or whatever you want to say after the chapter meeting at your
Yeah.
house. It was nice to be able to have that outdoor space that we had set up
Hmm.
in your front yard.
Hmm.
I kind of brought down your
Yeah.
property value for the weekend.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. My
uh,
neighbors appreciate it.
they did. And look, you could live out in the country, and I even got to use your backhoe or skid steer. I'm my bad. So I got to do some country
Yeah. That
shit.
was fun. Yeah, we
Uh-huh.
did, man. We did some country stuff this weekend. I love living out in the
Mm-hmm.
country. It's fun. I'm gonna get you out in the country one of these days. I'm sure it's
Working
soon
on that.
approaching. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it was just nice to be able to set the camper up for the first time, make sure everything
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
My brother had my back with a generator, worked flawlessly. Um, so it was a really good weekend. I do have to say, the amount of brothers that were at the chapter meeting. Then after the
Mhm.
chapter meeting, we kind of had like a little, what is it, a luncheon, if you want to call that.
Yeah,
Everybody
hang
sat
out.
down, hung out. Kudos to Mr. Excuse me, Chicken Little, or Dan the Man, whatever you want to call him. He did
Mhm.
a nice pulled pork and barbecue. What was it? Tiberius? Tiberius opened up his facility for us,
Mhm.
and it was just everybody got to have fun. The kids got to be kids. The ladies got to have a meeting. The men got to have a meeting. Um, it was fun. And then afterwards, like
Yeah.
Brian's over here looking at his watch, going, "Guys, I open up to the public. I didn't know we were going to stay in here this long." Not meaning
Mhm.
like he didn't care, but it was just we ran the time and no one actually realized it because we were just having so much fun. What my point to that is, Skittles, is at the end of it, we all went to the park, and there was, shoot, 10 members plus
Mhm.
kids at the park. It was a really good day. That zoo was nice. Uh, it was just a good day had by all. And the after the park party at your house with all the family and
Mhm.
the area set up, it was just a really, really good time. I don't know how to explain. It's like my second home. I think I think can I start putting my sending mail that way and call it my second home? Maybe you can use my
Man,
address for your taxes.
well, I
Just
mean,
kidding.
I think I've sent mail to your house in the past, and we were already
Mhm.
talking about getting permanent RV hookups at my house for yourself, and maybe even a permanent deck that we'd call Gilligan's Island. So you just pull your RV straight up to, and that's your spot there. Um, which I think would be fun. But yeah, man. So like something I want to talk about tonight is I could tell our whole chapter was just uh jubilee over the chapter meeting, not
Yes.
even because of the meeting. We had a great meeting. But outside of the meeting, everything was set up. Everybody stayed around. The whole family was there. And so I'd kind of like to dive in that tonight, the importance
Mhm.
of what happens outside of the chapter meeting. Because there's so many within the Widow Sons, we've had tons of meetings where you handle business, everybody hops on the bike, and everybody goes home. Or, you go outside, some guys have a cigarette, kick a tire, and then you go home. Where
Uh-huh.
ours, like you said, this week, man, we ran the timeout and it was time to go. So I think
Yeah.
setting stuff up ahead of time to create that space can really grow the chapter. And that's what turns this might be a weird way to say it, but it can turn brothers into family. Does that make any sense?
Yes. No, it makes total sense. It's opening the being able to open yourself and your family, because sometimes when you go out in public, you have your what you show, because you're supposed to have the good kids and they're not supposed to run around and do this or that.
Mm.
I guess that's how I was raised. Like, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. You should shut the fuck up and listen twice as much as you speak. Uh, sorry. That's factual quotes.
Yeah.
Love my
Yeah.
dad. Hard ass, but factual quotes. I mean, that's a good one to live by. Sometimes you just gotta sit back
hmm
and listen. Um, damn it, I forgot where I was going. My ADD brain sometimes.
No, but so one of the things that I enjoyed about it was you're bringing up, the kids, where it's like, oh, we're supposed to have perfect, proper kids and this or that, and
Mm,
all of our kids got together and we they got to be feral, is what you like to say.
yes,
And by the end of
yes,
the hanging out, all of our kids were up, unbeknownst to us adults, hanging out, conversing with one another. All of our kids had put together a dance and got on the stage,
yes.
and they went, "Hey, everybody, we want you to watch this real quick." And they did a whole dance together. And now all of our kids are like asking about each other's kids. Hey, when am I going to see,
Mhm,
Gilligan's kids, or
mhm.
Rayleigh and Pickles kids, and
Right,
name them. And
right.
so when your kids start asking to see your brother's kids, man, that solidifies family.
You created
So you have
you created a bond without creating a bond.
Yeah, yeah, and like a reassurance bond there, like an insurance
Yes.
policy on that brotherhood. Like it's not just me saying, "Oh man, I need to go see Gilligan. Can't wait to see Gilligan." But when your kid
Mhm,
starts bringing up that, like, "Oh, I want to see, his kids," it's like, well, now I have an obligation.
mhm. I was say my youngest was like, "When do we get to go see Gianna again?" I was like, "Here soon, we can go see Gianna again. Not a problem." Oh, fucking right, I'm gonna tell you the story, buddy. Happened
Okay,
this
yeah,
morning.
okay,
Great story. My youngest, Roxy, is
yeah.
I'm loading the truck, putting her bag in there. She's like, "Dad, I need to go inside." I was like, "Okay, did you forget something?" She's like, "Yeah, I forgot something in my room." I was like, "Okay." So I open the door, I let her go in. She runs all the way upstairs, comes back downstairs. She comes downstairs with a picture. And I'm like, "Oh, it's a picture of herself holding Gianna."
Oh,
She
cool, cool,
said,
cool, cool.
She goes, I'm taking this picture to school so I can show everybody my cousin, Gianna. And I'm like,
Oh,
okay. So she literally, she puts her bag in the, her lunchbox in the refrigerator. I put her bag in the, in her cubby. There's like a little monitor that I call it clocking in. So like she's clocking in for the day on a job. She signs her own signature. She gets her own code in, but she literally, I'm holding her picture. She takes it from me, and then she starts running around to the teachers. And it's like, this is my cousin, and starts showing her friends. So just know,
cool.
she is so excited about it.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. That's great to
Yeah.
hear. Well, so I've got another fun, side quest family story that went beyond our boundaries there as well from this weekend. So, we're hanging out at my house after the chapter meeting, and Gilligan and his daughters are heavily involved into softball. Well,
Yes.
slightly unbeknownst to them, my mother-in-law, so this would be Maddie's mom, I married into, she like she professionally played softball. She's a professional softball player. And so she
Yes.
started doing some drills with the girls, throwing the ball back and forth, and started critiquing them like, hey, try this, move the elbow here. And it was like, I watched Gilligan's ears perk up like, oh, okay, that's some good stuff, this or that. Well, an hour in, they like almost lost time and it was time to cook burgers. And so they had to stop throwing. And Gilligan was like, hey, I would love to have you, come out here and run a clinic and do this or that. And so here's what I love is my mother-in-law had nothing to do with Freemasonry, the Widow Sons, or Gilligan's family. But now, because Gilligan is my family, I married into her family. Now you two are family. And she even said, all right, hey, we need to go down to Kentucky this summer. We're going to make it a family trip. And I want to do a clinic for Gilligan's softball team. And it's just crazy how those that's not even a connection. That's a bridge.
Yeah. That's a straight bridge, and that bridge wouldn't happen because if it wasn't for you and mine and your fraternal family, between the two of us, just our brotherhood family, and then the bond that we've created has festered itself out into our actual family.
Yeah,
which is nuts.
Well, yeah, and part of it is my mother-in-law, she's so willing to do that because she sees us interact with one another that she knows that those two are family. Gilligan's family. Like it's not just me saying like, "Oh yeah, I call him brother." No, it's that she sees it, interact. She saw how you acted leading up to my wedding, at my wedding, in every other weekend or part, you're always there. And again, I'm bringing this up with, hey, it's not just about the meeting. It's what goes on outside of your widow son's meeting. It's not just about the brotherhood or calling one another brother. It's what happens outside of that.
Or your Blue Lodge, if you're listening and you're not a widow son. It just knowing who your brother is, it means family. Like I know who you are. I could probably, it sounds gay as fuck, but I could probably go to a restaurant and order your food. It's going to be steak and not always potatoes. That's me. But if we're going out to a restaurant, we normally go eat steak anyways. So
yeah, we want steak and potatoes if we're going out.
Steak and potatoes.
Yeah,
but
dude,
my point to that
you should know your brother's order.
I know I'm getting you a tall fucking beer for sure. I know that's happening.
Well, no. So I love that you brought that up because that literally happened on Saturday. Check this out. This is even better than me knowing my brother's order. guess what? Gilligan's wife knew my wife's Starbucks order. Straight up.
That yeah, it was what,
'Cause
Saturday
we live it.
morning? We
Yeah.
Yep, Saturday morning, we were like, "Hey, we're gonna get coffee." I don't drink
Mhm.
coffee, I drink tea. So they were like my wife looked at Maddie and goes, "Hey, do you want coffee?" And Maddie was like, "Yeah, I would like it." And Rebecca goes, "Don't worry about it. I know what you want. Same thing as last time." And she was like, "Yeah, yeah."
Yeah.
So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, I feel you. I feel you. That's definitely being able to know your brother, not just
Mhm.
at a lodge or at a chapter meeting. Go to their house, sit down, talk with them, meet their family. Because you know what? We
Mhm.
don't have what we have unless we do have family. The family is the most important
Mhm.
because you're I've always fuck up the order of, like, which one comes first, and it should be family or God, family, and, uh, lodge. Some put lodge, family, God. I don't know. Some put them in different orders.
Yeah, yeah,
Mine's
yeah.
always family first. My family is without family, I don't have anything, but also without God, I don't have anything.
Yeah.
Just factual.
Yeah, well, yeah, they I understand what you're saying by that, because like, I'll always push on you and be like, "No, it's gotta be God first," but it's like, "Oh, no, I understand. They coexist amongst one
Mhm,
another." Um,
mhm.
and so it's kinda wrong to almost ask somebody to put them, in a order, because like, I would even argue, like, "Man, you need to have God before you can." Yeah. Yeah, that's a tough one. So, let me ask you this, though. If you yeah, I just need to get away from that subject. Um, Gilligan, if you were to put together a chapter meeting that was gonna fertilize family to bring family together, you got a chapter out there that they meet, they handle their business, they're like, "We're gonna do a ride on this date. Alright, now who wants to pray and get us out of here? Alright, bye."
Right,
If you wanted to
right.
cultivate a chapter to create that family, what's what's something you would recommend to that chapter to cultivate that?
Are we involving wife and children in this one? Because I would,
Brother, hey,
or
you
is it just
this this is open, man. Maybe you want to invite wife and children, maybe you wanna keep them out. I'm asking you, brother. How are you gonna cultivate, a strong chapter and family?
um I always say, say riding a motorcycle side by side for hours down the interstate will automatically create a brotherhood with one person. Because that's you got a couple guys you ride side by side, but to create that brotherhood
Mm.
as a as a family, it's a little bit different. You could literally go paintballing, have a chapter meeting, have a chapter meeting at a paintball facility. Like you could it if you don't have some serious business, have a chapter meeting and then go if you have serious business. But go to a paintball facility, go tag each other, have a little bit of a war because I know some guys are veterans or some guys aren't. Um, that would be an easy one. We all like to race. You could find some indoor karting facility and go have
Mhm.
some competition because that's something legal you can do if you want to do it just kind of like a guy's thing. Or come down to Kentucky and come down the Bourbon Trail and have like a guy's weekend and go hit a bunch of bourbon facilities, ride down here together, go do that. Go to the Smoky Mountains if you're close. Um, now, if you, we've done it as a chapter or as a group, not necessarily as a chapter. Me, you, and Rooster, we do Holiday World where we get together as
Yeah.
family. We get about 2 or 3 cabins. We get as many people
Mm-hmm.
in as we can with families. Um, and then we get a day pass at Holiday World, and we stay in the campground next door. Um, so we get to enjoy Holiday World for the entire day with our family. We go play in the lazy pool. Some that didn't have kids got to hang out, drink a little bit of alcohol, have some fun, got to see what it is, and got to enjoy that. Um, so it got to bring the family and everybody got to enjoy it, and it wasn't over a rally, which everybody gets
Mm-hmm.
together at a rally and brings their family, but it's still not necessarily a bonding moment. But if you're at a Holiday World, Kings Island, those are just kind of the things close to me. I don't know what y'all have, Cedar Point or something. I do believe up that way.
Yeah, Cedar
That's
Point.
Michigan.
Yep. That's a great one.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say that's in Michigan. Uh, those are just some things you could do. Go to the local splash pad, or rent a fucking pool for a little bit. Or if somebody's got a big pool, make a big party at your house.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing I love. I love how you make make it fun, because you're always hosting a some type of cookout, or some type of come to my house, come see me, come bond
Mm-hmm.
with me, come, let's hang out. And you're always open about
Yeah.
that to everyone in the chapter meeting, and even to your lodge brothers. You're
Mm-hmm.
open. You're like, come to my house, come eat my food. um
Mm-hmm.
I've kind of learned that. I've kind of learned a little bit of that from you. The last couple summers I've been doing like smoking parties, where I smoke meat, and I invite kind of the I invite my guys from work to kind of build that little bit of a bond, kind of like we do with our Freemasonry. They're not Freemasons, but I still try to create that bond within my work, so that way we eat together, we hang out together. We're gonna work together and all get in the trenches together. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not necessarily I'm not doing it. I'm doing it in all aspects of my life.
Yeah, I like that, brother. Dude, so I noticed the last summer, just watching your house became the like Saturday, Sunday pool party, smoke cookout house,
Hmm.
and you like had like that's where everybody showed up, was Gilligan's house to hang out. I love that. But I love that you brought up I think you're right. Man, maybe this brotherhood, the best way to start it and begin it um, on the highway, putting some legit
Hmm.
miles on with your brothers,
Hmm.
that's where you really develop some like key moments that can't be described, where you learn that brother inside and out. Like Gilligan knows all of my, like, again, something I'll say if you ever ride with me and Gilligan, I'm never going to say that we're good or the best riders, but I will say we are consistent. At least I'll speak for myself.
Yes.
Gilligan
Yeah,
knows
I know.
all of
I
my
agree with you.
signs. Yeah, he knows all my signs, my signals. I'll just slightly move my hips, my shoulder, my wrist, sound of my exhaust, and he knows if I'm going left, right, pull, whatever I'm even thinking, or if I'm even concerned about something in the future. Um so that really cultivates that brotherhood. And then I think that I come home from rides like that and talk about it within my family and like, oh man, this brother, this or that. And then I think the next step there is, how can we cultivate a widow's sons chapter meeting to embody, embrace, and gravitate the ladies and the children? And the one we did that I think worked really well this weekend was, well, we just like had a brother, we like paid him some money and he catered a meal in. And so we told all the ladies, like, hey, we're going to have a
Hmm.
really great meal and we're all going to hang out and have a really big space. So I think I would like challenge brothers, like, hey, don't just have your chapter meeting, get it done with quick. Maybe plan uh, a meal or just like something longer afterwards to purposefully introduce the ladies, because that really
Mhm.
I don't know, it really solidified a lot of things for us. I feel like.
It did, it did. Pleasureville Lodge, my home lodge here in Kentucky, we eat 6:30 every meeting. We eat at 6:30, we work at 7:30. But it's literally every meeting since I've been raised as a master mason in 2009. I have gone to we have had a dinner every meeting. It doesn't matter if it's the 4th of July, we're still having a dinner. Doesn't matter. We're having dinner before
Mhm.
lodge because if we sit down, that gives us the moment to sit. Like you've said it before on our podcast about Ohio, being able to sit down or not necessarily Ohio, just being able to sit down at a rally and eat with your brother. That's creating that
Mhm.
bond. Legitimately, that's creating that bond of being able to talk. Maybe the food is what breaks the ice with that brother, but being able to create a family.
Mhm.
That was one thing I was gonna talk about a minute ago is you sparked my mind about talking how, like, me and you drive down the road. I don't have to look over. I know where you're gonna go. Case in point, if we're driving down the interstate and we're on a 3-lane interstate and we're in the center lane, we're coming up to a, tractor trailer, car, whatever it is, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's coming in
Yeah.
front of us. I
Yeah.
don't have to look at you to know
Uh-huh.
when the distance from the
Yeah.
front of our bikes to the rear of that car is going to be before you turn. I already know when
Mhm.
you're going over because it's the same moment that my mind's going, okay, we need to go exit left, Larry. And I
Mhm.
don't have to ask you or I don't have to point at you and go, okay, we need to go over to the left lane because somebody's going to get trapped here. Uh,
Yeah.
you riding with some people, if you don't ride with somebody all the time, you're gonna get stuck in that middle lane because that person next to you, may not look
Yeah.
at you for the next 5 minutes, and you're over here going, "Hey, hey, look at me! Can
Yeah.
we go to the left
Yeah.
lane, please?"
Yeah.
Riding with
Yeah.
your brother for long periods of time creates those moments. So
Yeah.
sorry. When you said that, that's
No,
what
and
was in my mind
no, it
about that.
makes yeah, and I wanna point this out, uh, it's very common when you're riding with somebody or figuring out that highway situation on when to change the lane, somebody needs to accelerate and get, halfway ahead of the next person and give a hand signal. And that's safe, that's good, that's almost road captaining or whatever, and you need to do that. What me and Gilligan are talking about is so far beyond that situation never even has to be thought of or happen
Correct.
because we are
Correct.
coexisting within a lane and we both know each other's boundaries, and we're both living
Yes.
in each other's boundaries and we're automatically doing it.
Correct. Correct. It's literally automatic. I don't have to guess where you're going. I don't have to wait, because you know our speeds, you know how long, and it's just, again, over the amount of miles that we've put together as brothers and being able to ride to a rally, hang out for the weekend, that that creates a bond. That 100% creates a bond, but how do you get your chapter involved? Because not everybody has the means or the funds or the days off because of their vocation to be able to do that. So you can only create certain bonds with certain brothers, and then some brothers don't feel a part of the chapter because they don't get to do some of those things. So they still feel like kind of okay, we're gonna kind of create this little sub chapter inside of the chapter. The
Mhm.
way you keep that from happening is by doing those family moments or opening your house and bringing them in. I just like going out and enjoying like parks or that type of stuff with my brothers, like going to Holiday World or any of that. It's fun. It creates pure fun, and there's no pressure for anyone to have to talk to someone or have to figure out how to have a conversation. It creates conversations 100%.
Yeah. And this might be tough for some people to hear, but uh, you know, would you love and hang out with that brother and have that brother's back if there was no motorcycle? Let's take the motorcycles away. Are you guys still brothers?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's
Mm-hmm.
where we need to cultivate things. So, bringing up like our chapter meeting, we had well, actually, we have two gentlemen who are looking to petition and join our chapter currently, and they were both
Mm-hmm.
at our chapter meeting. And what was really
Mm-hmm.
great is hanging out for all that time. It gave us opportunity to get to know them better, hang out. But one of them has a beautiful daughter who's so bubbly and has the biggest smile, might I say. But she
Yep.
had the opportunity to hang out with all of our children and get to know them. And that was a really great way for that new brother who's a good brother in standings Masonically, who's looking to join the Widow
Mm-hmm.
Sons. It was a really great opportunity for him to see how he would fit within our chapter's family. Because again, each chapter is a tight knit family, right? The Widow Sons as a whole is a family.
Mm-hmm. I was like, some chapters may not have any kids in it at all. So your bonding may be something different. Maybe over at a bar shooting some pool and just hanging out. That may be your bond.
Hmm.
I mean, make that for your whole chapter.
Yeah, yeah,
Sorry,
yeah, yeah.
went on a little
Yeah,
tangent there.
every chapter. No, every chapter is a little different, man, and that's why you got to find the chapter that like might just fit you perfect. You know, we know some brothers that have a chapter within 30 minutes, but they drive an hour and a half to the other one. But
Mm-hmm.
with that being said, man, I could drop into any chapter right now, and I know that I'm amongst brothers. I love them. They're going to take care of me. It's like, you know what? I know that because we go walking around rallies, and I can just plop
Mm-hmm.
myself down in another chapter's camping area.
Yep.
I'm with family.
Yeah.
And I could stay there all night if I wanted.
Dude, I remember in the very beginning, uh, in the beginnings of you and myself, we would go around rallies and we'd be raccooning, and motherfuckers be like,
Yeah.
"Who the fuck are these idiots? Like, what are they
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
doing?"
yeah.
We used to get in a lot of trouble. We might have
We used to get in
commandeered a
some trouble.
motorcycle, allegedly,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
or two, maybe.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
we've
yeah,
never
the
been kicked
second
out of
one.
a rally. We've never been kicked out of a
That's
rally.
true. We've never been kicked out of a rally.
We've put up some pretty good fights, though. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. But my point to that is now we walk around and we've know so many people just from so many rallies that we've been to that when we go to
Mhm.
rally and we get to meet those brothers and the bonds that I've created with those brothers through those rallies
Yeah.
carry out. So when I go to their state or I come to I go to wherever they are personally, I'd love to visit them. I went to Phoenix, case in point. I went to Phoenix, Arizona on my family vacation with my family just because my kids wanted to. I think it was fall break, I do believe. My kids wanted to fly for vacation because I'm a fucking Clark Griswold. I will drive
Yeah.
everywhere. I took,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm so Clark Griswold. I took my kids to Colorado. It was my my oldest and my middle child. And my middle
Huh?
child was probably like 1.5, somewhere like that. I drove from here all the way to Colorado.
That's hilarious.
I went all the way up the mountain, all the way down in the old lady's car. I drove all the way home. But long story short, they wanted to go to Phoenix. So I was like, all right, let's go to Phoenix. While I was in Phoenix, brother Rick, one-eyed Rick, that's my brother. He was in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
He was in the hospital. I looked at my wife and I said, "Hey, can I go see brother Rick? I'm here in Arizona. I can't not go see him. That's my brother." Like, I created a bond with that brother in Mississippi. 8 years ago? 9 years? Yes. No.
Yeah.
No, not that.
Yeah.
It might have. Oh, wow, it has been 2018.
20.
So yeah, it's
8
2018,
years.
2017. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, somewhere around there, brother. We're not very good at math, but anyways, as family, I was not going to see him. There was no way. My wife's
Mhm.
like, "Yes, go. That's your family. You got to go see him." So, case in point to what you were saying, doesn't matter where you're at, who you're around, family, and you create that
Mhm.
by going and talking, going and visiting, and get to know your brother more than just, "Oh, hi, you're my brother. I met you from Blue Lodge. Hi, you're a widow son. I met you because you're a widow son." No, get to know that brother.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Completely agree. All right, let me think here. Brother Gilligan, if I were to trap you in an elevator and you had just
Why do I
60,
get trapped
I'd
in an
say
elevator?
60 seconds. Well, you seem highly likely to be somebody who would get, knowing your luck, you would get trapped in an elevator. Now, given that you are the only person that I'd be like, I'm pretty sure he would fix that elevator before help arrives. So I think you would get out pretty quickly.
Facts.
But if you were in a
Okay.
if you were in a normal operating elevator going from floor 1 to floor 6, you had 60 seconds. If you were to describe or try to tell everybody, somebody asked you, "Hey, I'm aware of what Freemasonry is. I'm actively joining the Widow Sons, so I know what they are. But I'm noticing how much family and how much bond there is in the Widow Sons. Where are
Okay.
you guys developing this strong bond in the Widow Sons? Why is the Widow Sons specifically developing such a strong bond within Freemasonry? What is it about the Widow Sons that develops such a strong bond in Freemasonry?
I think, in my professional opinion, that the bond is created by the amount of time that is spent with one another. In your Blue Lodge, we always, nothing against it. We go to lodge, we walk away, lodge closes, we go home. We do a little bit of community service. We kind of hang out then, but then it's another month later. We're not talking. As a widow son, you create more weekly to sometimes even daily phone calls to one another to check on well-being, to check on their family, to fully interact with that one to two to three brothers that are super close. That's a daily occurrence. So it's going to create a deeper bond no matter what. Like,
Mm-hmm.
as long as you put in the work to create that bond, because you can't just sit back and try to take it, because it's not going to develop the way it needs to.
Yeah. Yeah.
60
You know
seconds. Was that 60 seconds?
No, that was perfect. You know, it's so funny that I'm thinking about. So before we got online here, I told you that brother Go Go from Southern Illinois, he's staying at my house next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
He just like reached out and said, "Hey, anybody in the Central Illinois area looking for a place to stay? My grandson's graduating from the college here in my town." And
Yes.
people started tagging me left and right, and I went, I messaged GoGo and I'm like, "Hey, brother, you're staying at my house." And he said, "All right, I'll pay you for it." And then I said, "Well, we got a real Mexican standoff because I was gonna pay you to stay at my house." And I think we I think we both meant it. But, that's within the widow sons. You know, within the widow sons, I have spare bedrooms set up at my house specifically because of the widow sons. I've never had any scene or a network created where somebody says, "Hey, are there any Freemasons in this area? I'm looking to stay the night on another Freemason's couch." Um,
No, there is. You bring up a valid point there, Parker. You bring up a valid point. There
yeah,
is not.
and I only just say that just to say how deep the bond is within the widow sons, and that we just it's so deep that we normalize that, where it's just like, yeah, of course, you if I find out
You want
you're
to
in
come
a
stay at my
hotel in my
house?
town, yeah, if you're in a hotel in my town, I'm gonna come kick your ass. Like, no, you
Yes.
come to my house.
Yeah. Buddy, I'm over here coming up to your house for a chapter meeting for the family day, and I'm bringing my camper, and I'm like, with the gas prices right now at 5 something a gallon, and it's your
Yeah,
332 miles, I could probably rent an
it's
Airbnb
yeah.
or a hotel, something closer. But
Mhm.
I knew if I did that, you would whoop my ass, like legitimately
Yeah, yeah,
whoop my
yeah,
ass and be like, "No, what are you
yeah.
doing? Like you're staying in my house." But I know the feral children that I own would destroy your house with my 300-pound dog. So as family, I know when it's time to
It's a good
you know
point.
what? Yeah, I'm you know what? I'm not gonna I could bring the camper up, but better yet,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna invest in my brother, and I'm gonna get him uh,
Oh,
uh, uh I'm gonna get you a shed, or not a shed, but a big enough shed that anyone shows up, that's where you can put them.
that's awesome.
Give him a little.
Dude, I yeah, I love your verbiage there of "I'm gonna invest in my brother," and, we find that in the widow's sons, and I love that. I really appreciate that.
Yeah,
That's
because
awesome.
it wouldn't be just I would it wouldn't have been just mine, but it's your property, so I gotta invest in you. I know you
Yeah.
I know how much you love rolling out that Widow Son's red carpet, and that would give
Mhm.
you a space to not that would give you the space to not take, like, if it was on a Friday, or a Tuesday and a Wednesday in the middle of the week, it wouldn't take from your normal vocation, especially now having a new child. Um, I'm
Yeah.
I'm 8 years deep in it now with my kids. My youngest is 4, so I'm kinda out of the baby diapers and all that stuff, which is kinda nice. Kinda nice. I don't have to buy diapers.
Mm.
That shit's expensive. That shit's expensive, speaking of family. So if you ever want to help the Parker family out, send diapers or wipes. You can never go
Yeah.
wrong with a box of wipes. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah, yeah. Uh, shameless plug. Thank you, brother. Um Alrighty, brother Gilligan, dude, we haven't done a podcast, just me and you, in a minute, and I even kind of forgot we were doing a podcast there for a while. I really love it, appreciate it. I still know I could call you tomorrow, and we've got so much to talk about, which I love. We could talk for
Yes.
hours, but you got anything else you want to close with?
Um. Yeah, I got something. Uh, I'll close this with this statement. This is gonna be from the heart because I have something on my mind, but I don't know how to say it. Um, family is not always what you think it is. Family may not be the one that you were born with. It may not be that your mom may not be your dad. you can have family that you choose, and choosing your family is the ones that bring you up, never pull you down, never use things against you to make you feel like they're a part of you. Always remember your family is the one that you get to choose. Yes, sometimes water is thicker than blood. Sorry. That was on my mind, buddy.
Yeah. Um. Yeah.
You got
If
anything
I
on
get a
your desk?
closing, yeah. Um. Something I was thinking about is, as you're saying that, is um, family is not a building that you construct and build, and you say that you have to drop the cornerstone and build it upon this or that. Um, family is a
Mhm.
garden, and it requires constant tending to, and it's extremely
Yes.
rewarding. Um, but you cannot just build it and walk away and show up and enjoy it when you want. It is
Yes.
something constant. It in your life, it might be monthly, it might be weekly, it might be daily. I even have some brothers that I can see yearly and pick up where we left off. But regardless,
Yes.
it still requires constant tending to.
Mhm.
Life's a garden, dig it.
Perfect words.
To quote Joe Dirt. All right, brother, let's get out of here, dude.
Sorry, you cut out there, Tord. You cut out.
Sorry.
Let's get the flock out of here. We got family shit to do. You got to go take care of the kiss the baby and change diapers. I got to go make sure
Yep.
kids are in bed still.
All right, love you, brother.
Peace out, love.